Wait a
We're having
second.
sponsors.
There
It's
you
not a
go.
network. So they're not going to cancel us. I don't think yet. What's
Nope.
happening?
Nope. Not going to cancel us at all. Hey there, Phil.
Hey, Ona, how you doing? How was your week? How's your week?
My week's actually been really good. I'm doing
Mm.
a whole bunch of house stuff. I'm painting the office, and I'm got a guy out here in the backyard, and he's weeding and doing stuff. And so I feel like during this time while I'm waiting for the next gig to come along, I'm getting my
Hmm.
house in order for summer fun, and just to know that I can walk outside because we got a beautiful backyard, right?
Yes, you
And
do.
just relax. And so it's been
Mm.
it's been really nice to attend to home.
Nice to get your house in order, like really, not metaphorically. Really,
That's right.
actually.
That's right. Yeah, right, 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 right,
Yeah,
right.
the tune's kicking, right, Chris? Iona, she chose everything. Iona chose everything, and that's what I mean when I say Iona's the engineer. All
Oh,
this,
baby, baby, baby,
she the
baby.
generator. She the one moving and shaking it.
Be having fun.
Um,
And we're over here. If I could, Phil, we're going to try this for the first time. I don't have it facing me, but hey, guys, we are Obama Tunde has joined us on Instagram.
Come
So,
on, dog.
guys, we're on our YouTube channel, but because we don't want to lose anybody, I've turned this on. But what you're looking at is right here. Okay,
It's a
so come and join
simulcast.
us. Some,
It's a
yes,
simulcast.
simulcast. Come and join us.
Yeah, like Chick Hearn used to do on the Lakers. Simulcast, radio and TV.
Yeah, the
That's
radio
it.
and
Hello,
TV.
everybody. David Peterson, Leslie Sides, Mariela. What's happening? Ward, Christopher.
Hola,
We got a crazy show
hola.
tonight. Crazy, beautiful show. Got a beautiful cat that's going to join us. And yes, yes, David, I said beautiful cat because
That's
that's who you are, bro.
right.
That's what you are.
uh
Ah.
oh, he's acting like he wants to come on or
Uh-oh. What's up, Krista? What's happening? Hola,
something.
hola. You just going to bust him out in here? What
Well,
up?
no, we should talk about him, don't you think? We
Please,
should
in the
talk
best way.
about him
In the
in the
best way.
best way. As a matter of fact, I've got iPad Licious with the man's bio because I got to
Oh,
tell
hit it.
you.
We got that much time?
Dave Fennoy, I know, right? Because it's like two full pages. He's one of the most in-demand voices in the voiceover field, and it's great to have him Phil together because he's amazing. And he has just won an award, the Legacy Award from SOFAS, the Society of Voice Arts and
Voice artists.
Sciences, the
Yes.
Legacy Award that spans almost 40 years, which is just really, really awesome. And Phil, I'm looking at all of these. I'm looking at
Well, let's
all of
talk to him
this
about
stuff
it. It's
right
so much.
here.
The
I,
beautiful thing is he has done so much, Iona, like you, with your voice. He's a singer. He was a radio star in the San Francisco Bay Area. He's just had so much beautiful career going on.
yeah,
It's kind of
yes.
obvious why he's successful with what he's doing.
Yeah, it is, Phil. It really
Mm.
is. And you know what? I've got something here. Let me just read some of this stuff. He's got characters, heroes, warriors, wizards, weirdos, and over 500 games.
Ooh, what?
Awesome. So, should we bring him on? I
Yeah,
think
let's
we
talk to him. He's
should.
getting bored of us
Let's get
talking. It's
him
like Tiger
on.
Woods on the
It's
first tee.
like,
U.S. Open winner 2025. U.S. Open. It's like the other golfers are like, would you just get to the first tee? David!
What's up,
let me
y'all?
have you fly
The
in.
Tiger
Wait,
Woods
You
of
got me,
I'm
you
voiceover.
got
having you
me
fly
laughing
in
back
again.
here.
Let's have you
Hey, my brother.
fly in again. No,
Woo!
no, wait. I
Woo!
want to have you fly in.
Girl, you crazy. You crazy. Got a flying Dave Fennoy. Okay.
Oh, Dave.
How's it going, brother?
Hey, well, you know what? How could my day be bad with you two? Now, life
Oh,
is good. I can't complain about too much. I could be taller, thinner, stronger, but I'm blessed. I'm very blessed, very blessed. How you
yeah,
guys
man.
doing?
We're good. We're trying to up the stakes here on the Vision is Possible.
That's
Alan Moore's
right.
doing what's possible for us. So we're happy to have you on. It's a whole new groove for us. So we'll see how much
And
we've
and
learned and how much we've
just
grown.
in To be honest, I just have to be honest with your audience. You are two of my very, very good friends.
That's right. Yeah,
I
we
love
are.
you guys like you don't know.
Yeah, you
And
too.
we've known each other a long time. Um, so I'm
Ah,
happy to be here.
so
No, that's
glad
Feeling
to
part
beautiful.
have
of,
you.
feeling part of the family.
That's
Yeah,
right.
well, no doubt you are. But we got questions for you. You got stuff we want to go over. So you know, strap up your chin strap. We're gonna talk about some shit. But let's
So,
first. I do want to. We didn't do this last week. I don't know. We should have.
oh, yes.
Yeah,
We
we
talked
want
about
to
it earlier.
acknowledge some of the people that have passed recently,
Mm-hmm.
that have been so
Jerry
illustrious in the world. Jerry
West.
West, and of
And
course Willie
today,
Mays,
Willie
Willie
and
Mays,
Mays.
yeah.
Donald
Donald
Sutherland today.
Sutherland.
I
Taps
Um,
and
saw that
threes.
today.
yeah,
Yeah.
very sad.
It made me sad.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
But you know,
Me
three
too.
amazing lives that seem to have worked up right to the end and loved what they did. And
Yeah,
two of them, the sports idols and icons, were two of the greatest sports figures of all time.
Of all
of all
time.
time. Yeah.
You
And
know,
Donald
And,
was one of the greatest actors of all time.
and it's interesting. Often musicians, athletes, it seems to me, tend to die earlier.
Really.
I was so happy to see that he lived so long, Willie Mays.
93.
Hmm.
93,
93, dude.
Especially
93
as a
years old.
black man doing what he did. Because, a lot of times they go far too
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Wears on you. You know, but they mentioned that in his in the words that were said about him, that he had, it wasn't grace, right? It was just that the shit didn't bother him when he was playing.
yeah.
Like,
Hmm.
he held it down to do what he needed to do. Now, I'm sure it bothered him in life, whether he made mention of it or he didn't, but in some way, some fashion, he didn't allow it to enslave him. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Well, all of us have to make some kind of peace um, with whatever our obstacles are. And for those of us black folks, um, it's a constant battle.
Yeah. Yeah.
It may not jump in your face every day, but not too many days are going to go by before something jumps in your face. Um, that said, we still have to find joy in life.
Hmm.
Yeah, we do.
Hmm.
We still want to show up and be a gift to the world, even sometimes when certain parts of that world want to reject you as a gift and your gift.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, that was his example. Was to, through it all, be a bad dude. Be the second person ever to hit 600 home runs. He was my personal favorite. His model, the only
Hmm.
baseball model I think I
Had
had,
in their
was the
bedroom.
catch.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
so
the
my
one.
our dad used to say it wasn't the catch, it was the throw, and that's exactly what you hear
And it
now.
was because
It was.
he made the catch, but he didn't revel in the catch. It's I've made the catch now. I've got to throw
I
this
still got a
ball
play to
and
make.
cut that runner off.
Yeah.
Mm.
Which he did. So, I mean, he was just Tim Kirchin said, and I don't want to get too deep into it, but Tim Kirchin, who's a real baseball aficionado and a mind like no other, said that he was the greatest combination of power, speed, and defense the game's ever
Mm.
seen. Now, 70 years ago, he started in the game, and it's still true
Yeah,
today. There
yeah.
isn't a player
Isn't
who
that something?
exhibits
And he
any
was one
speed.
of those
Yeah.
transitional players. He played in Negro leagues and then just really tore it up in the national leagues.
And guys, isn't it great how they are using the statistics from the Negro League and incorporating it now?
Yes,
So
yes, amazing.
important.
That was such a
Yes.
shocker, but how
I
beautiful,
know,
right?
right?
About time.
Woo.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we got a long list of that, right? But happy that they did it, and kudos to Rob Manfred, who was the commissioner of baseball, to do that. K9 Coastal says, I feel for the Sutherland family. He's Canadian as well. Yeah, Donald
Yeah.
Sutherland and Kiefer and the whole Sutherland clan. Our thoughts and prayers are with you guys. Donald was a
And
beautiful
Donald
artist.
Sutherland has just been an amazing presence on the scene and in voiceover uh,
Mm.
for
Mm.
decade after decade after decade. And I was thinking about him in The Dirty Dozen from way back,
Loved him.
and the character that he played that was so off,
Hmm.
and the ultimate character actor that he was to play so many wide and varied roles for so long. And then he sold us a whole bunch of orange juice.
Why? I don't get the reference. Maybe I'm thick.
He
What's
was
the?
doing orange juice commercials.
Oh, I
He was
didn't.
the voice. He was voice of was it Minute Maid, whatever the orange juice was. I just loved him. I just loved Donald
Oh,
Sutherland
I did too.
as
I
an
thought he was
actor
amazing as
and
his last
as a
turn
voice
as
actor as well.
J. Paul Getty. He played J. Paul Getty in this amazing miniseries. Phenomenal. He was
Yeah,
phenomenal.
yeah.
That cat. So. Enough of them. We're talking to David Fennoy here tonight, people.
So, Dave, yes, we are. Dave, you're a brilliant voiceover talent, and a lot of people want to do what you do, but it's not something that just happened like that. Where do you come from? How does it start? And I want to know what were some of the drawbacks or some of the pain, some things that happened that probably made you think, this isn't going to happen for me. I'm going to stop. I'm not going to continue. But you did.
Well, you know,
Your
I
journey.
never. If somebody had told me when I was in high school that I would have this career in voiceover, or that I would have had the career in radio that I had, um, I I would have really. Oh, okay. Okay, let's see what happens. Uh, so many things in life are a surprise. Um, I was always interested in performance thanks to my parents. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, and there's a community arts center there that puts on performances and trains people. If you know a black actor from Cleveland that you've seen on screen, they went
Our
to Caramel.
daddy.
And I took modern dance. I took music lessons. I did painting and sculpture and acting. While at Caramoo House, my parents wanted me to have a great education, so I was one of the first black kids to go to a private boys' school, Hawkins School for Boys. At the time, it's now a co-ed school. Um, so I got to go to school from my very black uh, middle class life. My mom was a school teacher. My dad was a veterinarian. With some of the richest kids in the area. There were kids who were great grandsons, great grandnephews of presidents. We had a kid there, his dad was the CEO of a corporation that held 10 or 12 other corporations, including Spalding Sports. And amazingly, when that kid came to school, suddenly we got new bleachers, we got new uniforms,
Mm.
we got a new track. We had kids that would arrive at school if they were late by helicopter, things like that. Um, and when you are able to just be with people that perhaps you would have had no opportunity to be with, you learn that they're more similar to you than not. There's no reason to feel uncomfortable when you learn the same things that they learn and you know things they don't know. I think that was a big part of my training to show up in life. And just not taking no for an answer, just knocking on doors. Um, when I went into radio, I was giving up a music career. I'd been a singer songwriter for a while, but I'd gotten married, had a kid. Wasn't making the money I wanted to make to support a family, and I decided, well, you know what? I'll go into radio. That'll keep me close to music. And my wife at the time was going to go to UC Berkeley to get her PhD in plant physiology. And so we moved to Northern California from Washington, D.C., where we had met at Howard University. And so I was leaving music and stepping into radio. Hadn't had my first job yet. I had taken a course at Columbia School of Broadcasting,
Mhm.
and if I could recommend a course at Columbia School of Broadcasting, I wouldn't. Um, but I showed up in San Francisco ready to do morning drive on the number one station in town. Um, I thought. And I think sometimes what you need is confidence, and often confidence beyond your ability, um, but also willingness to humble yourself and learn what you need to learn. But ultimately, I was able to worm my way into radio, and before too long, I was doing mornings at the number one R&B station in town, which actually was the number one station in town. Didn't start off there, but I was doing overnights. I worked at some other radio stations, uh, but ended up working under the name Billy David Ocean at KSOL. Did radio for about 10 years. Early in my career, I discovered voiceover. Uh, I was writing commercials for KBLX, being their continuity director. And the morning guy came out as I was arriving, and we were kind of friendly. Steve, where are you going, man? He said, I'm going over to the city to do some voiceover work. I make more money doing that than I do on the radio. And I said, voiceover work? What is voiceover?
Mm.
And
Everything.
he said, well, it's all the stuff you hear where you don't see the person. So commercials, cartoons, TV promos, all those things forced for the trees around us all the time, but I'd never considered it.
Mm.
Uh, and I didn't do anything about it for a couple of years because I was early in my radio career. But a light bulb went off and it never went away. And after a few years, I started taking some lessons, some classes, which I recommend to people who want to get into this business. Don't just jump in. Well, I talk. I know how to talk, so I
Yeah,
can do.
a different paradigm. Yeah.
Or sometimes worse, I've got a big, beautiful voice. Therefore,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a
Yeah.
voiceover. I run into people all the, people tell me I should do voiceover because my voice is so deep and beautiful, and I go, maybe, because it's not about your voice; it's about touching people here and here.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Iona had asked about the stuff you got to get over a little bit. You kind of blew through that with the music. I had to give up music to go to. So how did that land on you? Giving up music. What did that feel? What was that? I mean, it seems like music was a real passion, and singing must have been a very passionate thing for you. What created that impasse?
I was a singer songwriter for a long time, and I had bands when I was in DC, and toured around a bit. I think for every endeavor we have, especially professional endeavors, hobbies are one thing, but if this is something you're doing as your career, you might love it, but you may have an expiration date that you don't even know about. That you've knocked on this door and you've knocked on this door and you've knocked on this door. And I know there's something about don't give up, just keep going. But I think sometimes you can take a real good look, do a real serious assessment of where you are and where you're trying to go and everything else in your life. And wife, baby, not making a decent living to support them as the man that I was and am. That's important to me to be able to support uh, myself and my family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it wasn't pleasant,
Mhm.
but I knew I could do something else that I would like. And at that point, it was radio. I was going to go into radio. It would keep me close to music. I would be performing. And I'm going to tell you the truth. What I've really discovered is it's not so much the voiceover or the music or the radio, it's performing for me. Uh, and I think in my life, if I can perform, if I can be on stage, on mic, on the radio, um, I'm good. This is why I'm on this earth. This is what brings me joy.
Mm.
I still, after all the years, I'm a little sad at the end of each gig. Oh, we're done playing for today?
Mm.
You got to go home? Oh, okay. Well, be something
Mm.
tomorrow.
Mm.
So I think sometimes
Mm.
um, there's more than one thing that we can do. And if we can
Mhm.
find something else that satisfies our soul, we can take these steps.
Mm.
Life is long, and often I think you're going to find, especially the longer we live, and we have the opportunity to live longer and healthier lives now than ever before on the planet. And I think a lot of people, because technology is changing so fast, you're going to find yourself having to make some changes to do things you weren't doing before, and kind of go with the flow and find those things that bring you joy and keep knocking on those doors.
And
Yeah,
don't you,
perseverance is big.
yeah, it is. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. Go ahead. Did you have something
No,
else?
no, 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 no.
I think that's so true. Dave, what you said is, I do find that as we are living longer, we have the opportunity to do more than one thing. We have the opportunity to maybe explore other parts of our creative life, and creative life for us is in the arts, but it could be that you're going to run a business. It could be that you're going to bake. It could be that you're going to
Yeah, absolutely.
create make it your own business. So guys, our show, though we are, Phil and I are performers, actors, writers, producers, and we bring in people like Dave who are in the industry, we also bring in people who are not, so that you can see creativity spans so many different crafts, and it's so important to know you don't have to be locked in. And I love what you said, because it's so true. I've known people who have wanted to become actors, but they've turned out to be better stage managers or better wardrobe people, because it's not about what it is so much that they're doing, but it's how are they fulfilling what they want to do.
What
And
satisfies your soul? And
right,
often I think a person, if they're driving a bus and they love it, more power to them.
right.
We always hear well, it beats digging a ditch, but if you absolutely love digging a ditch, hey, not my thing, but whatever it is that brings you joy that you can do every day, and make that living. And sometimes you're making a living doing this, but your passion is some hobby over here that maybe you make no money from, but you have the opportunity to satisfy your soul doing that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Phil,
humanity needs to be expressed. You know what I mean? That's what we're talking about. Now, we choose to do it creatively, or what some people call creatively in the arts. Other people do it with numbers. I have a brother-in-law who absolutely loves numbers. He's an accountant, worked for Ernst and Young and Price Waterhouse for a long time, and some other private equity firms. And that dude loves numbers. He finds it incredibly creative and he was like a bankruptcy specialist. So to help people who were in that situation, to get them out of bankruptcy, was what his passion was. you know so it's not just it doesn't look like one thing, as Iona and Dave were saying. It looks like you. You know what I mean? What it is you. It's not what we're doing, it's not what anybody else is doing, but it's who you are, and finding the essence of you that needs to be satisfied, requited, understood. And to be
Yeah,
understood, you have to express, right? I do
yeah,
what
oh
I
yeah.
do so that the world understands me. I feel like I express better as an artist, so that the world understands who I am, than any other thing. And so find
And guess what?
the mode
The
of
world
communication for
doesn't.
you.
The world doesn't have to understand.
Ooh, I'm sorry, but you
No,
repeat that,
truly not.
please.
And
But
a lot of times the
I
world
will
is not.
counter with this. We need resonance in the world. So we have to find where we resonate, and we
Yeah,
resonate with the world. So even though our consciousness can't be considerate of the world, we still are responding in a world that has Does a tree fall in the forest and make a sound? In my mind, no, because there's nobody there to hear it. There's no resonance to be accepting of it. That's my opinion. So in the
Yeah.
world, I need somebody to hear what I'm feeling in order to feel resonant in the world. You know what I mean?
When we talk about the needs of human beings, air, water, food, but also recognition,
Community, yes.
uh,
Yes.
people want to be acknowledged in life. Sometimes you're walking down the street, there's a homeless guy or girl, and they're saying something that they want to be noticed. They want their life to have some recognition.
Exactly.
And I think, especially those of us in the arts, it is a need that the whole thing. They're applauding. Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
because we would do it for free if money weren't a thing.
That's my point. And I'm not talking about, and I want you to jump in here because I know you have something to say about it, but I'm not talking about a psychologically damaged thing. I'm talking about a very healthy, nurturing
Yes.
type of
Yeah.
connectivity and resonance. Not the one where I need you to love me. Not that. I want to be heard. I think a lot of people's problem is that they just haven't been heard that day. They just, that one moment that they needed somebody to hear who
Yeah.
they were, they didn't do it, so they snapped.
Yeah, yeah.
Recognize
Oh,
me.
you are
I'm
so right,
here.
Phil. Right, recognize. They need somebody to recognize them, and it's hard to say that it begins with ourselves. But unless you have that fullness of knowing that in your life, you don't know that you're the one giving yourself most of the juice you need in life. You don't know that. You don't know
Yeah.
the calling your friends who, when you say, I'm not feeling good, and they're like, yeah, you're going to be great. You're going to be great. They're giving you all of that juice, but you're going, yeah, I feel it. And you get off the phone and you go, I don't feel it because you don't
I own a Phil, and I
have
don't
it.
know about that because, guys, we don't call friends and go, man, my life sucks right now. Can you help me with it? We don't do that. I don't know why. We just don't.
Yeah, you guys
Um,
missed that.
we have to figure it out another way. Uh, I can see the comments here.
Yeah,
Should I
yeah.
pick something that,
Well,
Yeah,
let's
absolutely.
go to Dave, if I can lead you, because I wanted us to do this, and I want to get back to this too, because I think this is really cool what we're talking about. But Mariella had a wonderful question here. Hi, Dave, and also this would be for all of us. I'm a voiceover actress. Saw you at VO Atlanta this March. You are a legend.
Legend.
Can you talk about the importance of networking and some tips in that subject? Thank you. Absolutely, Mariella. Beautiful. Thank you, baby, and for being
well,
patient.
no man or woman is an island. Um, if you're trying to get someplace, what's the old African proverb? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. Um, None of us get where we're going by ourselves. I feel like the more you can network, the better you're going to do. Of course, there's a limit on sooner or later you're going to have to be by yourself and doing some practice. But networking and voiceover or anything else these days, I think, is easier than it's ever been because of the technology that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I often give the advice of when you're trying to get your career started, you want to find as many outlets, as many uh, people who do the hiring of the kinds of things that you want to do in this business and reach out to them. But I don't believe in the shotgun approach. I don't believe just because you can go on LinkedIn and find 100 people who are producing video games or TV promos or narration for whatever. Um, Nobody wants to be approached. Hi, I'm so and so. Give me a job. We
That's
all
right.
want to be recognized. I think we need to show up as support for other people. So instead of blasting out 100 or 200 messages of "I'm here, I'm so and so, hire me," find out a little bit about those people. Blast 5, 10. that you have spent a little time finding out who they are, what they've done, and possibly what they need and how you can be of service. And I think that's a much stronger way of networking with people as opposed to the "Hi, how are you? I need a job."
You know, we had a Stephen Adams, my manager, came on, and he talked about an event that he did with an event he went to when he was a young guy out there and being an agent. Excuse me, before he became manager, and Diane Carroll was there, and he's drinking and carrying on and laughing with his friends, and she goes, "Come here. What are you doing here?" "Well, the bar, it's free. It's an open bar." And she said, "No, no, 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 no. I want you to go out there and I want you to talk to 5 people who
Get
you
five
don't know.
numbers, right?
Get 5 numbers. Yes, get to know them and find out what can you do for them.
Exactly.
Don't look for just a high sign of what you're saying. You're not looking for give me a job. What can you offer in their world?" He said he went out and he did that, and it has totally changed. It totally changed his whole life. And now he does that all the time. And of course, he speaks about that now. And I think what you're saying, Dave, is so important because so many times it's about what can I get? What can I do? As opposed to this is the craft I have, this is the talent that I have. What can I offer to you? And to find out what those people may need and then fit into what they need instead of what you think you can get from them.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. And that's really what I'm saying. Um, and we go back to the need to be recognized. And those people out there working who are doing something, they're still human. Their poop stinks. They got to put on their pants one leg at a time. No matter how big and magnificent you think they are, at their core, they're just human beings. Uh, Meet them as a human being and serve their need for whatever it is they need done. Oh,
Hmm.
you need people to help you write a story? Hey, I've got some stories here. Um, you're looking for this kind. Find out what they need. Be of service to that.
No doubt. And you'll be surprised how many people do want to assist you. Because, like Dave said, we don't do this alone, and we needed people to assist us. Dave told you he was in a voiceover workshop, even though he was already a radio personality and had sung. He has a natural affinity for this, but he needed to tighten up his game. I always tell young actors, get in the best acting class you can find. Even actors of my ilk. I mean, find the best coach you can find, because not only will you get the good training, but you'll also be around really good artists. Iron sharpens iron. They are trying to do the same thing you're trying to do. You're gonna cohabitate and compare notes, and they can give you certain tips that you don't know, and hopefully you can give them tips that they don't know. And so you guys grow together. That was always how it was for me. I always found somebody who was willing to, a scene partner who was willing to either entertain showing me their agent's stuff because they saw my work in class and they trusted me and they trusted my representation for them, not to embarrass them if they introduce me to a representative. You find so many things. Just go out and expose yourself. Don't stay at home thinking it's just going to happen and find you.
No, because it won't.
It will not.
Won't. It won't. And
You
don't be
know,
annoying. One last thing. Don't be annoying. If you go to see somebody like a Dave or me or Iona, and we're busy and we're inundated with people, or just know that we have energy that needs to go certain areas as well, and we might not be able to take the time with you. So find the time where we're not busy at the table, or you can approach us in a way that's amenable to us as well. And we're nice people, so imagine you're going to go over to people that aren't as cool. So you really have to have a sense of who you're approaching and have respect for their time and their energy.
I
So true.
I get a lot of people requesting answers about this question, that kind of thing. I can't always get back to them right away, and I've gotten very good at saying, "Look, yeah, email me or text me, however you've got my information. I will get back to you. It might not be as quickly as you like." The other thing I'm going to say is be persistent. Don't be a jerk, but be persistent. Keep coming. I tell people, if you're looking for an agent, you've sent your demo. If you get a response at all, even if it's, "I'm sorry, but we've got several people," write them back. Thank you. and update them. You got a gig, update them. You're working with so and so. Phil, when you just talked about taking classes, from time to time, I still take classes. From time to time, I will still work with somebody on some area that I want to improve myself on.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I remember, and this is a few years ago, but maybe 5 or 6. Um, I hadn't. I used to do a lot of TV promos. I still do some, but I wasn't getting as many as I used to. And I went and took a course, and it was live. It was before. It was before the pandemic times.
Oh, COVID, COVID, COVID.
And I walk into the class, and I can hear that's Dave Fennoy. I said, "What's he doing here? Is he going to teach him?" No, I'm here. I want somebody that I trust that can give me a critique of what I'm doing. How can I make this better? And one of the reasons we need to do that now is because the world is changing so fast. What you did 20 years ago may not be viable now. What you did 10 years ago may not be viable now. So if you're going to stay current and stay working, you probably need to refresh and refresh and refresh.
Hmm. That is so true. You know, I'm coming back to acting, and I've been auditioning, and I went, you know, though I've been directing on the other side, the tools that I have to do that, as well as coming back to voiceovers, I need to take a class just to refresh, just to practice, just to watch what other people are doing from a different eye instead of, am I going to hire you or not, or giving
Yeah.
you direction. I want the direction. And I think that's so important to keep ourselves, keep us sharp. And keep
And
us moving
sometimes, you
forward.
know, we're all multifaceted. Sometimes someone can point out a facet of yourself that you don't see,
Right.
a thing that's working for you. Uh, you know, as actors, as voice actors, um, we have to understand that sometimes the business chooses what it wants from us, and sometimes you don't know what that thing might be. You might need some help with people who can say, this thing that you're doing, this is working. This is marketable. Let's work on that. And it might be something you had no idea.
I have a great add to that, and it does not stop. There's no period at the end of this sentence. Monday, I had an audition for a great project that I am up for. I went in, prepared my stuff. It was awesome, felt great. Went in. The cat who was running the camera and doing, because I go to a spot to do it. I don't have my friends do it. I like to go to a professional area, make an appointment. It's like I'm going back to the studio, even though we don't do a lot of in-person auditions now, a lot of self-tapes. But I go to a professional setup so that I have a time I'm going to be there. I have to get dressed. I have to meet the moment. You know, I get the same kind of jollies as when I go into the studio. So that I set that up. When I went into this dude and we did a rehearsal, just a rehearsal of the first scene, he was like, bruh, this is your lane. Can't nobody F with you with this. This is you, man. Oh my gosh. Do you do a lot of this? I said, yeah, I work a lot. Oh, of course you work a lot. Dude, he was so encouraging. He was so supportive. Never met him before in my life. We shot that thing, that first scene, bam, killed it. Second scene, we did it, boom, we did it a couple times, whack, knocked it out. He was like, you getting this. Oh, well, man, you. And all I'm saying is that encouragement helped me in that moment. I've been doing this forever. In that moment, it helped me do my best work. I
Yeah.
really, really appreciated his encouragement. And the next day, literally, they asked for my availability, where I was located, my rate, boom, boom, boom. You know, if I had any, yes, I bring a lot, and I appreciate it. I have a lot of confidence, obviously, but I do need assistance. I need somebody to objectively say, "Hey, man, you're hitting the mark," or "You're not
Yeah.
hitting the mark."
Yeah.
And there's a part of it I should not know. I should be completely at the whim of my character. I should be in that moment. I should be immersed to the point that you believe everything I do, breathe, say, and am. And that takes a certain immersion that I need somebody outside to see what I'm not doing, or if I'm doing too much, or if it's too loud or too soft, whatever it is. and
Yeah.
we all go through it. But the point is to have you need champions. You need
Yeah.
people who are going to assist your talent
Yes.
be the best that it can be. You can't just know it, you know.
Yeah.
And if I could say this too, for you are so right, Phil. And what really made me excited is I know the young man who was, I know that company, Self Tape. I love them. I want to have those guys on because they're twins. They're really terrific what they're doing. There's the other thing of there will be people in your family who are going to be naysayers. You can't do voiceovers. It's going to be too
Oh
hard to
boy.
be an actor. You need to pay the bills for your family. And yes, you do. So you keep that job. You keep the money coming in. You keep that. And on the slide, like Phil and Dave and I have done, we have lost sleep working on becoming who we want to become. We haven't been able to get enough sleep, I should say, not lost sleep, as we do our best to go to study, to get a job. Can we not do it at 1:00 because I'm at my other job? Can we? We've all done that, and that's what you do to get ahead. How hungry are you? Dad used to say, "I'm asleep when I die." But the more you work on it, you just stay focused, and what's truly meant for you is going to come to you. Right there.
I love what you just said about be careful who you listen to when you're talking about your dreams, your plans, because often people don't have your vision. When I was knocking on the door of voiceover, I was still in San Francisco, and I was going to have informational interviews with people. That was the thing everybody thought you should do. Then, well, find somebody in the business and go have an informational interview. I still think it. And I talked to this guy and basically said, "Well, we have all the people we need in voiceover. There's no reason for you to continue on this journey." I had a program director when early on in when I was knocking on the doors on radio said, "Well, there's something wrong with your voice. You're just not going to make it in this." And that actually became fuel for me.
Of
But
course.
often the people we love, your mama, your daddy, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, can't see your vision. Or maybe they tried, it didn't work for them. I had somebody when I moved to LA. Actually, I didn't move to LA. I was commuting back and forth between San Francisco and LA every week when I started doing voiceover down here. And I had somebody that they had tried, it hadn't worked for them. And they said, "Well, this isn't going to work for you because it didn't work for me."
Wow.
Be careful of what you take in as truth.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's like when you're pregnant and your wife gets pregnant, and then you hear all the horror stories. And our gynecologist upstairs is like, don't listen. Oh, I was in a car traveling 70 miles an hour. No, don't listen. The other thing I want to say about the journey is that you learn everywhere. You even learn on the job. Okay, you learn while you're working. I just did, and people know I've been doing the Upshaws. I finished the last season of the Upshaws. I hadn't done a sitcom in a while. I was taking a crash course in sitcom acting on the job. Like all the things that I know about the format and the form of sitcoms came to me fully. I was in my element. I was learning every day when the script would change. I'm like, I get this. I know where my blocking is. I know, talking to the writers and about the material and talking to the director and having this great community that helps you as an artist inform you to how you perform better. You learn always. You don't just stop when you get the job. The
No.
job itself is a learning experience. And when
Yeah.
you work with people like Dave Fennoy, Iona, Morris Jackson, and the most amazing people that we work with, you keep the channel open, you're going to learn a lot. It never stops.
Yeah. Yeah, it surely does not, Phil. You are so right. What to say? Dad used to say, "You learn until the day you die, and then you're done."
And then you're done.
Yeah,
A lot of
yeah.
dying in our father's vocabulary, if you can understand.
That
There's
a lot of
of dying. Get it done before you die. Okay.
There's a comment here, you guys, that came in far earlier, and I got to show this to you. Okay, I'm going to show this to you. Ward says, I hope in my early 60s I've been practicing. I hope I can still get in. Would Fiverr be a good place to begin?
You know,
What's Fiverr? I'm
I
sorry.
don't
Is
know
Fiverr a
Fiverr.
thing?
Fi-
Yeah.
well, Fiverr is an online um, place where you can go and hire people to do certain jobs. It's called Fiverr with the idea of $5 for the job. Most people are charging more than that for
Hmm.
various jobs. Um, I'm going to say Fiverr doesn't get you a lot of respect. It might put a few dollars in your pocket. It might help you with some training. I have heard casting people say from time to time they'll look on Fiverr, but they would never hire anybody from Fiverr. But if you can do some work, if somebody does hire you, you're getting some experience at least. If I were doing Fiverr, I think I'd still want to train with some people who are working in
Professionals.
these are professionals.
Okay.
They're just at the low level. I would want to work with some people, train with some people who are working, and people that they have trained are working at a higher level. If you're trying to feed your family or just feed yourself, and it's probably more difficult now than ever before. The disparities between the rich and the poor and what you have to pay for things are higher now than ever before. The rich are richer, the poor are poor, the middle class is disappearing. So I understand the idea of, hey, I got to make enough money. So Fiverr, I'm not saying it's the best thing for you, but if it works for you, go for it. I had a job while I was still a disc jockey. There's a thing in Northern California, TV 20. It was a non-union station. I wasn't in the union yet, but I knew I wanted to do TV promos. And I got them to hire me to do TV promos, and it was all the promos I could do in an hour for $25 an hour.
Wow.
Now,
Wow.
that I was being robbed,
Yes.
but
Yes,
I
you
was
were.
also getting training.
Mhm.
Yes.
So that by the time when I moved, when I started commuting and moved to Los Angeles, I was able to do promos for the Disney Channel, for the WB, for ABC, for CBS, because I had gotten a little training. I'd gotten used to, knocking off promos and doing them quickly, which is what you have to do.
Mhm.
So sometimes you're not making what you should make. Sometimes it's not the most respected place. But if you can get some experience there, um, with a grain of salt, take it.
That's great advice. That's such great advice. Because the outlets are myriad
Yes.
for expression. A YouTube, one of the first. So thank you, YouTube, for being around and giving us a platform for this. But it was one of the first times that we knew that you could self-generate content,
Yeah.
right? In our father's day, not possible.
Not
Cost
possible.
prohibitive. The technology was not there. You had to process film. You had to have big wonky cameras. You had to have an entire crew. The whole thing was just not available. Now there's so many outlets available. But David, you give such a good point because it isn't the outlet; it's how you utilize the tool, right?
Yeah.
It's how you make it work for you. I said this a while ago, and somebody got really angry with me online. I said it's not the weapon; it's the warrior. And they came back at me like, well, if you're using no hands and I have a gun, of course it's the weapon. My counter was, if I'm trained with a gun and you're not trained with a gun, and we both have guns, it's the warrior, not the weapon. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter about the gun. It doesn't matter about the sword. It doesn't matter about the technique. It doesn't matter about the form of distribution. It's how it
And
can
we
work
have
for
all seen
you.
Jason Statham kick butt and take weapons away from people with just his hands and feet.
So
Who's that?
obviously what I'm saying is true.
She's hot.
Mo, what you
Mo,
know,
that's
Mo?
that's one of my best friends in the world. Malicious. Dave's wife.
That's,
Come up here, Mo.
that's
Now
my
that you brought
baby.
your beautiful self in.
Well, wait, because I'm preparing to go work out.
Yeah, we
Whiten and moisturizing to stay young.
as soon as I'm out of here, it's off to the gym.
Do that thing. I just posted about working out today. That's
I
what I
saw that.
did.
That was a really nice post, you guys.
What are you
Here's one
doing?
from our friend David Peterson. There's a wonderfully apt quote from Confucius that is worth repeating here. You may live to a great age and study all the days of that life, but there's always knowledge that you cannot acquire.
Nah,
7 days in a week, 24
nobody knows
hours
everything.
in a day. That's right. You can't know everything. There's vast knowledge out there in the universe to know. And we never stop learning.
No, but we kicking some good knowledge here. I mean, let's not, don't play us small.
Hopefully we never stop learning.
No. You know Dave ain't doing that either.
Be careful those people doing their own research.
You know, I do want to speak. I do want to speak to something that Ward mentioned. That's about being in the 60s. So, Ward, check it out. I'm in my 60s. And as a matter of fact, all of us here are in our 60s. And there are more summers behind me than there are in front of me. And I think Fiverr is good at what Dave says because it is experience. It really is, especially if you're starting out at any age. I do think that you gotta friggin' go for it, baby. I am a firm believer in you take no fewer than 2 to 3 classes before you do a voiceover tape because your voice lasts longer. It's the one part of you that goes much later than your looks, than your body. So the voice stays there. So you are competing against people who may sound like children who've been in the business for 40, 50 years. So you go to classes, you listen to other people, you learn from them, you find out what you're good at, you find out what you're not good at, and you get better and you stay out there hustling and you go for it. And like Dave says, you stay in contact with people, but you don't have to be a pest to get to them all the time. But if there are things that you want in your life, baby, timid is a word you take out of your vocabulary and you go for it. I'll tell you, at this age, Phil laughs. He told me this many years ago. I got married after 50. No. Was it after? No, I got married after 40. Yeah, I got married after 45. I directed my first television show after 60. Oh, damn. And when Phil reminded me of that, I realized my superpower is in my age, baby. The wisdom that I bring. The life experiences that I've had. So you get out there and you work hard to be the best you can be. At this time, it's no time to second guess what you want. If you want it, go for it. You've got Dave Fennoy here. You can Google him. You've got Phil Morris here. You can ask him questions. None of us are spring chickens. We're still out there doing our thing. But we acting like spring chickens because we got the energy and the drive. And that's what you want to keep in your life. That's what you want to keep going for in your life. Sorry, Dave, there was one setup that I didn't do with you to make sure your picture was in there with all of our names down there. So sometimes it comes up. But if it does, I'll just fly you in.
Once again, flying them in, baby. I don't know. You mentioned the best thing. Courage, people. Yeah. Be courageous in your life. Have faith in yourselves. Know that you can do it. Know that you're enough. It's a tough slog sometimes. That's when you have to have the most you that you can muster, not the least, and that's when you need to rely on you the most. It's counterintuitive. I mean, you think that it would be an easier ride. It's not. You just have to face it and handle it.
Yeah.
And like Iona says, go for it because nobody can do it but you. No one. So at the end of the day, you won.
I see a comment here. Ward Wilson, what places are there network besides Fiverr? I don't think of network as a Fiverr place. Mm-mm. Network is a place where you can interface with people who want certain services. If you're going to network, you want to network with people who are doing on what you want to do on the same path you're on, and you want to network with the people who hire or represent people on your path. So you might want to get in those places. LinkedIn's a great place. Google searches are great places to find out who people are, where they are, what they do, perhaps the information to contact them. Do a study of your industry, not just the voiceover itself, but who does the hiring, who does the writing, who does the casting. You want to know those people. And yes, of course, you want to interface with other people on the same path because we share information. And one of the things I love about voiceover, we are much more cooperative with one another, much more supportive of one another than some other areas in entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are. As a matter of fact, I want to show this, Dave. Let me find it. Dave has a show every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Ask Dave Fennoy anything. That's a great place to go and find information. Dave, he's got great other guests on there. So check him out. You'll find him on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Dave, is your show on YouTube?
Yeah, it lives on
As well?
YouTube after the fact, and it is on YouTube 6 p.m. on Wednesdays. I'm on a hiatus through June. We'll be back. I think it's July 3rd, just in time for us. Yeah, well, let's throw up some stuff. It's Independence Day.
And you know what's great is you have a lot of shows archived there.
Oh boy, a couple years worth of shows, if not a couple 3 years worth of shows. And I bring on other voice actors, agents, people talking about microphones and the technology of voiceover. So there's a lot of information there, and I always tell people the first thing you should do, get as much as you can for free before you start spending money. Even with me, I teach a lot. I've learned to love it. My mother said I should be a teacher when I was a kid. I laughed at her. Oh, mother!
You laughing now?
And she's not with us here, but I look up and I go, "Yeah, you're laughing at me now, Mom, because I teach voiceover and I love it." And it has also taken me around the world. It's amazing the things that come to you in a career that you don't expect, and there it is.
No, this is more than a job; it's an adventure.
It is.
And you found your calling with all of that. It's not an accident. As I mentioned before, you were a football player, so competition is good in this business because you're competing. I mean, you and I have been in the same room reading for the same role a few times. Even though we're competing for the role, we're not competing against each other.
Never. Thank you. So true.
Because we bring different tools, we bring different talents, we're different people, and they can like both of us the same, but they can only hire one of us.
They can only, and that something people need to understand about casting. It's not because you sucked. It's not because you didn't do a good job. When they get down to who they're going to pick, there's 5 or 10 people that they love. And now it's, well, this voice sounds a little too much like that. Or it was my turn last time to pick and you got to pick, so I'm going to pick that guy. You just don't know. It may have nothing to do with you.
They could owe someone a favor. You never know.
Yeah.
Choose them that time. There's a guy, Quentin, who says, great advice, Iona. Can't have self-doubt. Quentin, let me tell you. Yes, you can. It comes and it goes. I had some the other day and called it my big sister, Marianne Alda, who's another good friend to all of us. And she helped me in that moment. I went, okay, got it, thank you. All right, I'm back in the groove. So don't pressure yourself to not have doubt. So when you do have doubt, you beat yourself up. Face it. Call somebody you can count on. Write in your journal, or just know Get over it, baby, and know you're fabulous and start writing positive things. Start looking in the mirror of that best friend and support yourself. But doubt comes and goes sometimes. You question
Yeah,
what you're doing, right, guys? Is that true?
that's
There's no.
so true.
I almost
You
said
know,
there's no doubt about it, but I stopped myself. But then I said it again, so I'm sorry.
um,
You're so clever.
So stupid.
Yes,
we
Dave.
were wrapping up about now.
Yeah,
No,
you
we're,
got to
we're
go
like
work out,
about
man.
15
Yeah,
minutes, but
Your
you
wife
gotta
is
go. Okay,
waiting on
I
okay.
you.
got a personal trainer I got to get to.
Oh,
I
okay.
saw
Let me
you
give you
got to
this.
get
Let
out
me
of
give
But
you.
here.
Let me
listen,
just.
listen. Let me just say this,
Okay.
Iona and Phil. I love you guys so much.
Oh, thank you.
You too, brother.
You have been such good friends to me over the years, and Mo over the years, and it's always a joy whenever I get to see you in person. And thank you for the honor of being on your show and being able to share a little bit about my path, my journey, and hopefully shared some information that will help some other people.
There's
You
no doubt about
have.
it, brother. We
We love
appreciate
you,
you very
Dave.
much. Love you too, man. Go get your workout on.
That's right. Phil, stay. Stay,
I'm gonna
Phil. We
hang out
love
for a
you.
minute. Yeah.
Bye,
Love you guys.
Dave.
Take care, brother.
All right, hold on. Let me get to this and see if I
You
can
flew him
make
in
this
and you
happen.
just flew him out. Woo.
There we
Man, you
go.
were magical, Iona. Absolutely
You know, I've
magical.
I've been into this technical world for a long time. And I've been editing and doing stuff, and this is like you said, another language. So first it was like, huh? But now I'm into it.
So good. Well, it's
Oh,
great to have
Phil.
Dave. Great to have
Yeah.
Dave.
It was wonderful. So hey, darling, you want to give some words of wisdom?
Yeah. What do I have here? Here's what I have. We talked about losing some illustrious people that were so fantastic to the world, so resonant, as we were talking about, so uh, iconic in the arts and in the athletic world. We lose people all the time, every single day. Some of us, lose people quite a bit, and they're not illustrious. They're not iconic. They're not athletes or artists or public figures. They're just people. Yet they deserve the same consideration, the same love, the same respect, the same honor. Their families deserve the same support and grief, counseling and love that anybody deserves. I don't care who you are, Queen of England, Queen of the South, doesn't matter. And I think sometimes we mistake that. I think sometimes we give people more value than they deserve. I'm not saying that these three people were those people. I just want us to always maintain the value that we have in ourselves and the weight of our own existence. That's so important. I was with a friend of mine the other night. This is what brings this up for me. And he was talking about, and we're in the mid 60s, all went to school together. He's talking about these people he idolizes still. And I said to him, I don't idolize anybody anymore. As a child, and Iona will tell you, I idolized a lot of people. The whole Green Bay Packer team, Bruce Lee, it's like so many that I really loved. And I do love them, but I don't idolize them. Because what that did for me was put me second or third or fourth or fifth. I didn't feel myself commensurate. I didn't feel myself in the same league. And I don't think that that's right. I think that every human being is in one league, the human league. And that we are as valuable as an individual as anybody else on this planet. And I want everybody to know that's how I feel about you. That's how I feel about me. That's how I feel about my sisters and my family, my friends. That's how I feel about even people that I don't know. I give them that respect. I give them that honor. No, you belie that respect, you destroy it, you hurt it. That's a different situation. But as we speak, and Mariela, I appreciate that. And you're a voiceover artist. Dave is a legend. Yes, so you can be. So I can be. And let the people inspire you, not keep you in a place that, I could never do that. Yes, you can. Yes, you are. And I'm here to tell you, I'm looking at that. I know Iona's looking at that. And I know the people who hear my voice right now, they understand. You're it. You're the one filtering this reality. You're the one making these choices. You're the one deciding on your faith, your loyalty, your loves, your desires, your passions. So know that you're the shining star. Iona says, look in the mirror, see your best friend. You're the shining star in the movie that is your life. Play it like you're a star, not an extra. Boom.
That was beautiful, Phil. That was beautiful. I would say I go back to two things that we spoke about, you guys. And that is, I'm getting an echo. And that is doubt and being in your 60s, which is being older. It could be even in your 40s, you could feel this way. Don't doubt your dreams. Your dreams don't stop because you become a certain age. And now you're not going to dream anymore. You should just sit on the couch and just relax and give up on life, retire. No, your dreams don't stop. If it comes to your mind, comes to your heart as is something you want to do, fucking do it. There are so many people I see, even on Instagram, who have started yoga at 60, who started weight training at 60, who have started singing at 60, doing things they've always wanted to do and they finally decided to do it. You do it at 40s. Now you've been a nurse all this time, but you've always wanted to act, so maybe I'll send my pictures into a commercial agency. Friggin' do it. The only person who can stop you, baby, is you. Don't let you stop you. There are others who can do that if they so desire. Don't do that. And doubt, I think sometimes doubt might come up to check us to see, do you really want it? Are you really going down the right path to get what you want, to make happen what you want? But doubt to me is not about stop. It's not a 4-letter word, S-T-O-P. And you don't have to stay in that doubt. That's like, check yourself. Where are you? Okay, let me check in with where I'm at. Okay, I got it. I need to do more of this. I need to do more training. I need to go to more classes. I need to do more reading. I need to do more X, Y, and Z so that I can feel more confident in what I want to do. I think that's all that's there for. It's a check-in. Check in with you. Be there for you. Love up on you. Support you. And watch what happens. Just so happy to have us together today and being with each other and everything. This is so wonderful. Let me put up something of how you can find us, you guys. And of course, you know, as I'm using all my little things here, I like to bring up just a little bit of music. You know, isn't that nice? Yeah, and a little nice. So check it out. This is where you can find our dear friend, Dave Fennoy. Check him out. He is a wonderful, wonderful human being and inspiration, as you've just experienced. And his show, as I told you about earlier, is on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. He says he's coming back July 3rd for live shows. Excuse me. But I just went on his site. He's got a plethora, 2 years of shows archived where you can check out what he's doing. And then, of course, we've got the handsome one, Mr. Phil Morris, my baby brother, though he's taller than me. There he is. You can find Phil at the Phil Morris, at the Phil Morris, at the Phil Morris, at the Phil Morris. And check out his work, you guys. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional, but he's got an archive of great acting work and a great voice-over work. You have doubt? Check this brother out and be inspired. And then if you want me, you know where to find me. Here you go, at a lot of gold. Because what? I have a lot of gold. And then the show. You can find us here and go to our website. We've got archive of elder episodes. And then and there will be more episodes coming. And then here we are. Let me take us back over here. I got to move some things around, you guys. And here we go to la 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 as I'm pulling up Mr. Phil and me. Oh yeah. And music out. Because
Okay,
it's
everybody.
Phil. All right, honey. So it's been wonderful.
Talk to you next week. I'll be in Bloomington, Indiana, recording from there.
Oh,
I'm
yeah?
going to visit Rachel, playing a golf tournament for their university to assist them
Awesome.
with money for their NIL. So I'll be there, and I'll be back Friday, but I'll be doing this on Thursday.
Oh, that's wonderful, sweetie pie. So then we'll see you guys and give Rachel love. And as I always like to finish with, good night, Philly.
Take care, Anna. Love you. See you next
Bye,
week.
guys.